Hi and welcome to Lifestyle London. If you want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Firstly, I prime my eyes with MAC Painterly Pot. I applied this all over the lids, blending it in on both eyes. This is just going to keep your eyeshadow on all day and just cover up anything you want to conceal on your eyes. I then took a Real Techniques contour brush and using the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder in Transparent, I just put that all over the eyelids just to set everything in place. I then took the colour Salted Caramel from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and using a MAC 2-on-7 brush, I blended it through the crease back and forth in circular motions and focusing mainly on the outer edge of the eye. And because Salted Caramel is a medium toned, warm, orangey brown, that's really just going to warm up your crease and make everything look a lot brighter. You also want to make sure that you're quite light-handed with this because this is just the transition colour, so you don't want it to be too heavy. Then using the same brush, I went in with Semi Sweet from the Chocolate Bar palette and just blended that in, but slightly below the first colour that we used. Again, Semi Sweet is a very warm, chocolatey brown, so that's just going to make sure that this whole look is very warm toned and bright. I then took the colour Cherry Cordial from the Chocolate Bar palette and using a MAC 221 brush, I began to blend that into the crease, back and forth, mainly focusing on the outer edge of the eye and making sure to keep it in the crease and not to drag it up too far. Again, I just kept packing on that colour Cherry Cordial into the crease until I was satisfied with the amount of colour I had. I then took a KIKO Eyes 200 rounded eye brush with the original colour I used, Salted Caramel, just to blend everything together. I then took the colour Marzipan from the Chocolate Bar palette, which is a shimmery champagne colour, and using a MAC 239 brush I just packed that onto the lid. I then took the colour Drift from Colourpop and just popped that on the outer edge of my eye, packing it on until I was happy with the amount that I had. I then took the colour Cranberry from MAC and blended that all together using that same MAC 221 brush. I then took the colour Champagne Truffle to use as my brow bone highlight using the Look Good Feel Better eye shading brush. I then took the same MAC 217 brush that I used earlier to apply Salted Caramel and just used that to just blend everything together. Then I took Marzipan again and using the MAC 239 brush I just packed a little bit more on just to the centre of the lid. I'm then going to apply MAC's Nylon into the inner corner of my eye using a MAC 219 pencil brush. This is a really pretty white gold colour that's just really going to brighten up the inner of your eye. Then I'm taking Anastasia's Tinted Brow Gel in the colour Expresso just to set my brows. I actually had already filled in my brows before this video with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I'm then taking MAC's Rapid Black eyeliner and just creating a wing, just not too much of a harsh one, just quite thin, reasonably thin. I then took the Uemura, I think that's the right pronunciation, eyelash curlers and just curled my lashes. I then used the Jordana Best Lash Extreme Mascara, which is so good, seeing it's only like $2 or $5. So yeah, definitely worth trying. Then applied the Astral face and body cream all over the face. This makes your foundation look so dewy and fresh, and it's so cheap. I then took the Clinique Super Primer and applied this all over my face to make sure my foundation stayed on all day long. I then took a damp Real Techniques beauty blender to apply the Chanel Perfection Lumiere foundation in the shade 40 Beige. This is such good foundation. It is slightly expensive, but it lasts forever and leaves such a dewy, fresh-faced finish. Plus, it's got really good coverage. I then applied the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Fair underneath my eyes, just to cover up any under-eye circles and also to brighten up the under eyes. I then pushed this into the skin by gently patting the damp beauty blender underneath my eyes. I then set my under eyes using the Real Techniques contour brush and again using the Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powder in transparent. I then used the NYX HD Concealer in the shade 8 to contour with. I drew a very thin line because a little bit goes a long way with this product and you don't want to overdo it. So I drew a thin line along the temple, cheekbone and the jawline, and then blended this out with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, making sure that I blended the concealer on the cheekbone slightly upwards and more towards the back of the cheekbone, not going too near the apples of the cheeks. I would have also set this with Nars Laguna bronzer because that is my favourite bronzer of all time, but I completely forgot. I then took the Real Techniques stippling brush and swirled this all around in Colourpop's Super Shock Cheek blusher in Prenup, and then tapped this onto the apples of my cheeks. This is a really pretty plummy pink colour, but I wanted a little bit more peachiness and a little bit more pink and glitter, so I applied Milani's Baked Blush in Rose d'Oro. I then applied Becca Highlight in Opal with a MAC 160 brush on the top of my cheekbones, the centre of my forehead and the centre of my nose. I then applied the Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream to moisturise my lips before putting on a NYX Lip Butter Matte Cream in the colour Can.
I have been taken by the words that you say. The voice that carries them has kept me.
I then set my makeup with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and off camera applied Ideal Volume Lashes in 100. Thank you for watching.